Have you ever walked up a flight of stairs and noticed your legs just don't feel as steady as they used to? Maybe your knees feel a little shaky. Maybe standing up from a chair takes just a second longer than it used to. And maybe you've brushed it off. You told yourself, it's just part of getting older. But deep down, you wonder, is this normal? Or is my body trying to tell me something? Here's the truth. After the age of 60, your muscles don't just get tired. They start to quietly break down. You don't see it happening. You don't feel it all at once. But over time, you might notice that walk to the mailbox feels longer. That once easy task, like picking something off the floor, now takes effort. And worst of all, you start to feel like your body is slowly slipping away from you. That's not just frustrating. It's scary. Because when your muscles weaken, it doesn't just affect how you move, it affects your freedom, your confidence, your safety. But what if I told you that one simple food, something you might already have in your kitchen, could help slow that muscle loss down? A food backed by doctors and researchers that could literally help you stay stronger, steadier, and more independent as the years go by. In today's video, we're going to explore this doctor-recommended food that seniors should consider eating every single day. We'll talk about how it works inside your body, why it's especially powerful after 60, and how to easily make it part of your daily meals. And make sure you stay with me until the end, because I'll also be revealing one of the biggest myths about healthy eating that many seniors still believe, and how it could actually be speeding up muscle loss without you even realizing it. Now, if muscle weakness, fatigue, or mobility is something you or someone you care about is facing, pause for just a second and comment below with, "I want strength." Let's create a community where we look out for each other, where we grow stronger together. And hey, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more real, helpful tips from us here at Healthy Senior Advice. This isn't just about food. It's about holding on to your strength, your freedom, and your life. Let's get into it. Picture this. Bob is 72. He's a proud grandfather, a retired schoolteacher, and, up until recently, an avid gardener. Every spring, he'd be out early in the morning, pruning roses, planting tomatoes, and hauling bags of soil like it was second nature. But this past year, things changed. He found himself taking more breaks. Lifting a small pot left him winded. Standing up from his knees took more effort than he expected. Still, he told himself it was nothing. Just getting older, right? But here's the thing. Bob didn't fall. He didn't get injured. He didn't change anything major in his lifestyle. And yet, his body had changed. Not suddenly, not dramatically, just a little weaker, every few months. What Bob didn't realize was that he was going through something called sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is the slow, silent loss of muscle mass that begins around age 30. And by the time you hit your 60s or 70s, it starts to accelerate. You can lose as much as 3 to 5% of your muscle mass each decade after the age of 60. Even if you're active. Even if you're eating what you think is a balanced diet. And this muscle loss doesn't just make you feel weaker. It increases your risk of falling. It makes everyday movements, like rising from a chair or carrying groceries, feel like a chore. And it chips away at your independence. Sometimes without you even noticing. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. They think muscle loss is just a normal part of aging. Or they assume that walking a little each day is enough to keep it at bay. And yes, movement is important, but it's only part of the equation. Because what you eat, especially the quality and type of protein you give your body, can make all the difference in preserving muscle and staying strong. Let me say that again, because it's easy to miss. You cannot outwalk a poor diet. If your muscles don't get the nutrients they need, they shrink, they weaken, and over time, they simply stop responding the way they used to. That's why it's absolutely essential to focus on muscle-supporting foods as we age. And yes, there's one simple food that stands out. A food that's affordable, easy to prepare, and backed by research and doctors alike, as one of the most effective everyday tools to fight muscle loss. We'll get into that in just a moment. But I want you to take a breath right now and think. Have you noticed those small changes in your own body? Not quite as strong, not quite as stable. You're not alone. And you're not powerless. Because the answer isn't complicated. It's actually sitting right in front of you. Let's dive into it next. So, now you're probably wondering, alright, what is this simple food that could actually help protect my muscles? What's the one thing that doctors, dietitians, and researchers in senior health keep coming back to? It's not some exotic powder. It's not an expensive supplement. And it's not some hard-to-find superfood. Are you ready? It's eggs. Yes, the humble, everyday egg. You might have a carton sitting in your fridge right now. But here's the thing, eggs aren't just for breakfast. They're one of the most powerful, muscle-supporting foods you can eat. Especially after the age of 60. Here's why. Eggs are packed with high-quality protein, the kind your body actually knows how to use. And inside that protein is something very special. Leucine. Leucine is an amino acid that plays a critical role in something called muscle protein synthesis. That's the process your body uses to repair and build muscle tissue. And as we get older, our bodies become less efficient at doing that. So we need more of the right kind of fuel to keep that process going strong. And guess what? Eggs are one of the best natural sources of leucine. But that's not all. Eggs also contain vitamin D, which supports muscle strength and balance, and vitamin B12, which is essential for energy and nerve function. When you put all of that together, you've got a tiny, affordable, easy-to-cook food that punches way above its weight. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Some seniors still avoid eggs because of concerns about cholesterol. Maybe you were told years ago to limit eggs to 1 or 2 a week, or maybe you've heard they're bad for your heart. But here's what more recent research tells us. For most people, especially older adults without specific medical conditions, moderate egg consumption is not only safe, it's beneficial. In fact, studies show that eating an egg a day can improve muscle maintenance, satiety, and nutrient intake, without increasing the risk of heart disease in healthy individuals. And when you pair that egg with other nutrient-dense foods, you create a powerful combination your body can actually use to stay strong. So how do you start? Simple. Start with 1 egg a day. It can be boiled, scrambled, poached, whatever's easiest for you. Try it in the morning with a bit of spinach, or avocado on the side for healthy fats and extra vitamins. You can even slice a boiled egg onto a salad or mash it with a little mustard for an easy egg salad. The key is consistency. 1 egg every day. It's not about changing your whole life overnight. It's about adding one small, powerful habit that protects your strength in a big way. And if you're someone who hasn't had eggs in years, maybe out of fear or habit, it might be time to give them another look. Because this one simple food could be the quiet hero in your fight to stay strong, mobile, and independent. Let's take it a step further in the next section, because food is just one piece. And we've got more to uncover. Let me tell you about Margaret. She's 68. Full of life, full of laughter. She used to love dancing, twice a week at the community center, swaying to oldies, sharing stories, staying active with her friends. It wasn't just about movement. It was joy. It was connection. It was something she looked forward to all week. But then, little by little, she started skipping it. At first, it was just once in a while. She told herself she was tired or busy. But the truth? Her legs didn't feel stable anymore. She felt a wobble during a spin, a hesitation when she stepped backward, and worst of all, she began to fear falling. That fear, that quiet little voice in her head, it stole her confidence. And without her realizing it, it also began to steal her freedom. You see, when muscles weaken, it's not just about not being able to lift something heavy. It's not just about strength. It's your balance, your reaction time, your ability to catch yourself if you trip on a rug or misstep on a curb. It's being able to get up from a chair without holding on. It's walking into a room without needing to scan for places to lean on. It's reaching for something in the cupboard without that little tremble in your arm. Muscle loss, especially in the legs and core, quietly impacts your independence. And the changes often come so slowly that you don't realize just how much strength you've lost. Until you try to do something you used to love, and it feels different. But here's the good news. You are not stuck with it. Muscle loss is not an unstoppable force. A lot of people think, well, I'm just getting old. This is normal. And while aging does come with changes, weakness, instability, and frailty are not things you simply have to accept. You can fight back. Not with intense gym workouts or fancy machines, but with the right foods and just a little bit of gentle, intentional movement. Remember those eggs we talked about? They're not a miracle food, but when you combine that solid, high-quality protein with something as simple as light movement, the results can be remarkable. Start with something small. Leg lifts while holding on to the kitchen counter. Seated marches during your favorite TV show. Even standing up from your chair without using your hands, just once or twice a day. This is called resistance training, and it doesn't have to mean lifting weights or going to the gym. Your body weight is enough. And when you pair that movement with foods like eggs that support muscle repair and rebuilding, you create a powerful combo that helps you stay on your feet longer, feel stronger day by day, and regain some of that confidence that's been fading. Just like Margaret. She didn't go back to dancing overnight. But she started doing leg strength exercises every morning. She added eggs to her breakfast 3 times a week. And one day, she walked into the community center again. Not because she felt perfect, but because she felt strong enough to try. And that's the difference. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be a little stronger than yesterday. Next, we'll talk about one more hidden reason why many seniors struggle to maintain muscle. Something most people never even consider. But once you see it, you can start making real, lasting change. Now, we've already talked about eggs. And yes, they truly are the star of the show when it comes to supporting your muscles as you age. But even a hero needs a few good sidekicks. Because when it comes to building or protecting muscle, eggs can't do it alone. Let's bring in the rest of the team. Think of your plate like a support crew. And rounding out that crew are Greek yogurt, salmon, lentils, and leafy greens, each one playing a special role. Let's start with Greek yogurt. This isn't your regular, sugary fruit-at-the-bottom yogurt. Greek yogurt is thicker, richer in protein, and loaded with calcium and probiotics. Just 1 cup can give you 15 to 20 grams of protein, and your muscles absolutely love that. Plus, it's easy to digest, especially for seniors with sensitive stomachs. Next up, salmon. Not only is salmon a great source of protein, but it also brings something else to the table. Omega-3 fatty acids. Now you might think omega-3s are just for heart health, but here's the surprise. They've also been shown to help reduce inflammation in muscles and even support better muscle function in older adults. And if salmon feels too fancy, no problem. Try canned tuna, sardines, or even mackerel, easy to prepare and still packed with the good stuff. Then there's lentils, a true underrated powerhouse. They're affordable, easy to cook, and full of plant-based protein, iron, and fiber. Lentils are perfect for seniors who might want to cut back on meat or are looking for variety. And don't forget your greens. I'm talking about spinach, kale, collard greens. These are rich in magnesium and potassium, 2 minerals that help with muscle contractions and preventing cramps. They also give your bones a nice boost, which is a bonus when it comes to staying upright and moving confidently. Now here's what all these foods have in common. They don't just offer protein, they provide a variety of nutrients. Essential amino acids, anti-inflammatory compounds, minerals that support muscle recovery, and vitamins that help your body absorb and use that protein more efficiently. It's like giving your body not just the building blocks, but the tools, the workers, and the energy to build muscle and keep it strong. But here's something I see way too often. Seniors skipping meals. Or relying on tea and toast, maybe a few crackers here and there. It's light, it feels easy, but it's not enough. You might not feel hungry like you used to. Appetites naturally change with age. But when your meals are low on nutrients, your body doesn't get what it needs to protect your muscles. And slowly, quietly, you begin to lose strength. So what can you do? Start small. Try a muscle boosting plate like this. 1 boiled egg, a scoop of cottage cheese, and a handful of fresh spinach. Simple, balanced, and packed with nutrients your muscles are literally craving. Or if you prefer something heartier, go for a salmon and lentil salad with olive oil and lemon. It doesn't have to be gourmet. It just has to be consistent. Because the more often you give your body what it truly needs, the more likely you are to stay steady on your feet, confident in your steps, and independent in your daily life. Now, we've talked about foods that help, but next, we need to talk about the food myths that hurt. Because there's a belief many seniors still hold on to about eating healthy. And it may be doing more harm than good. Let me tell you a story about John. John is 75. He's a proud grandfather, a retired electrician, and one of those people who always kept busy. You know, fixing things around the house, checking on his garden, walking his dog twice a day. But then, he had surgery on his knee. A routine procedure. Everything went well. But the recovery, that's where things changed. John spent 3 full weeks in bed, barely moving except to use the bathroom. And who could blame him? His doctor told him to rest. His family brought him food and encouraged him to relax, thinking they were doing the right thing. But by the time he got up and tried to walk again, something was off. His legs felt like jelly. His balance was shaky. And his confidence was gone. Suddenly, this once active man struggled to walk without a cane. Not because of the surgery, but because of what happened while he was resting. You see, inactivity is one of the biggest, sneakiest threats to muscle health in seniors. And it doesn't take months to do damage. Just a few days of lying down or sitting too long can trigger rapid muscle loss, especially after age 60. What's going on inside the body during this time is more than just getting out of shape. When you're inactive, whether from an injury, illness, or surgery, your muscles aren't being used, so your body starts to break them down. And here's something even more serious. Periods of inactivity often come with inflammation. That inflammation, while part of the healing process, can also interfere with the signals your body uses to build and preserve muscle. It's like your body gets confused. Instead of rebuilding muscle, it just keeps tearing it down. And if no one intervenes, if you don't move, if you don't eat the right foods, that strength doesn't just come back on its own. In many cases, it never does. Now, most people think rest is the best medicine. And yes, rest is important. Healing matters. But too much rest, especially with no movement and no muscle-supporting foods, can send you backwards, fast. Think of it like this. Rest your muscles, and they'll recover. Ignore your muscles, and they'll waste away. That's why gentle activity, even during recovery, is so important. We're not talking about running marathons here. A short 10-minute walk around the living room. Some light stretches in bed or a seated leg lift in your chair. Combined with protein-rich meals, like eggs, Greek yogurt, a piece of chicken, or a scoop of lentils. These small actions, they make a huge difference in maintaining your strength and avoiding that sudden loss of independence that sneaks in when we're not looking. And here's the good news. You don't have to do it alone. Ask a loved one to walk with you. Set a timer to remind you to stand up once an hour. Even talking to your doctor or physical therapist about simple movement goals can help. It's not about overdoing it. It's about consistency. Because staying still for too long doesn't just slow you down. It quietly takes away your ability to stand tall, carry groceries, dance with your grandkids, or even feel safe getting out of bed. You deserve better than that. And you're capable of more than you think. Now, let's bring all of this together, because this topic doesn't just touch muscles. It touches lives. It touches families. And it hits home in a way that's far deeper than food or fitness. So stay with me, because the emotional heart of this message is coming next. Watching someone you love go from vibrant and active to struggling with the basics, like standing from a chair, walking to the mailbox, or getting out of bed without help. It's one of the hardest things a family can witness. And maybe you've seen this firsthand. Maybe it's your spouse, your parent, maybe even you. That slow, creeping change, where energy fades, strength disappears, and independence starts to slip away. You might feel helpless, frustrated, confused. you might wonder, why didn't I notice sooner? Or, is this just what getting old looks like? But here's something powerful I want you to hold on to. Muscle loss isn't just a part of aging we have to accept. It's a signal. It's a message. And more importantly, it's something we can do something about. Because the truth is, small, consistent changes can protect strength, mobility, and dignity. This isn't about reversing time. This is about giving your body, or your loved one's body, the best possible chance to age well. To stand tall. To move freely. To keep doing the little things that bring joy, like gardening, dancing, or picking up a grandchild without fear of falling. So let's reframe the way we look at this. This isn't about being afraid of getting older. It's about facing age with clarity, courage, and compassion. It's about understanding that even something as simple as one egg a day can become a powerful act of health. It's about choosing strength, not surrender. And it starts with you. Start tomorrow. Wake up and crack one egg. Scramble it. Boil it. However you like. That one egg gives your muscles the protein they need to stay strong. Then, take a short walk. Even just around the living room. That movement signals your body, I'm still here. I still need these muscles. One egg. One walk. One quiet act of love toward your future self. And if you're helping someone else, a parent, a spouse, a neighbor, your care, your gentle encouragement, your attention to the small things. That's what makes the biggest difference. You don't need fancy diets. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need to know everything. You just need to care. To show up. To make one good choice at a time. Because muscle strength isn't just about moving. It's about living. It's about confidence. It's about freedom. And above all, it's about hope. You are not alone in this. Every day, more and more families are waking up to the power of simple nutrition and mindful movement. You're part of a community that wants to see our seniors live with strength, not fear. So take a deep breath. You've already taken the first step, by learning, by listening, and by caring. And that means more than you know. Let's move into the final part of this message, where we'll tie everything together and help you take action today, not someday. So, let's quickly bring it all together. We talked about sarcopenia, that sneaky, age-related muscle loss that starts quietly and builds over time. But here's the good news. It's not inevitable. You now know that one simple, affordable, everyday food, the egg, is a muscle-supporting powerhouse. Packed with high-quality protein, leucine, vitamin D, and B12. It's practically made for aging muscles. You also saw how movement matters. Even gentle activity, just a few minutes a day, can protect your strength, your balance, and your confidence. And don't forget the food allies. Greek yogurt, salmon, lentils, leafy greens. They all play a role in keeping muscles fed and ready. But most importantly, you learned that it's the small things, done consistently, that truly matter. One boiled egg. One walk. One supportive choice. That's where real change begins. Now I want to hear from you. Have you, or someone you care about, felt the effects of muscle loss? What foods or habits have helped bring back strength, energy, or confidence? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. You never know who might read your story and feel encouraged because of it. Just type, I want strength, if you're ready to take that first small step today. Let's build a community where support and knowledge are shared openly. And hey, if this video helped you, even in a small way, consider subscribing to Healthy Senior Advice. This channel is your space for honest, helpful, and empowering content on aging well. From nutrition to mobility, from caregiving to self-care. Because aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean wisdom, strength, and living with purpose when we give our bodies what they need. So go ahead, tap that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Share this with someone who might need it. And most of all, take action. Because strength after 60, it's not a dream. It's absolutely possible. With the right food, the right moves, and the right mindset. You've got this. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. Until next time, stay healthy, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one.